There's a revolution going on in the U.S. right now with respect to natural gas, and so a great deal of switching already taking place from coal to natural gas. Big steps with respect to all form of appliance standards that, in buildings, and appliance standards means everything basically inside of the building, heating, cooling, and the works. There's interesting numbers I saw on this recently that in 2005, the Energy Information Agency projected that CO2 from emissions from buildings are about 40% of U.S. emissions, by the way, that CO2 emissions from buildings would increase 53% between 2005 and 2030. In 2012, the EIA revisited that projection and now projects that rather than a 53% increase over that time period, they project a 2.4% decrease in emissions. That's because of enormous efficiencies that are being driven. We've doubled our use of renewable energy in this first term and so forth. And the president, since he was elected, including in his victory speech on the night of the election, has been talking about climate change and his commitment to try to take further action. So I think that there has been a great deal of activity. Obviously, we had a legislative effort that we pushed that didn't succeed, and so there's more that can be done. But there has been a great deal of work already.
The chief US negotiator, Todd Stern, often under pressure, often under intense questioning from many people here, trying to defend the US stance on its carbon emissions, defended the US point of view, said that significant progress was being made in the US, that things had been done under the first 4 years of the Barack Obama administration, and much was planned for the next 4 years. When questioned whether Qatar was a sensible venue to hold a climate change conference when it has some of the highest per capita emissions, carbon emissions in the world, he said he wasn't going to point fingers. He said much good work was being done in Qatar and in the region. On another major issue on substantial, significant progress towards agreement in 2015, he said for the United States to think that that is working well, it has to be relevant to all nations. It has to be applicable to the whole world, not like the Kyoto Protocol, which he says is only applicable to some. He said it also has to be relevant to the 2020 and beyond, for the US to be fully on board with meaningful agreement by 2015.